And we are starting
in 5, 4, 3.
Okay, so on this very special live episode of Hak5, I'm going to show you how to join IRC at work even if your firewall blocks it.
Paul's going to come over and show us how to get front row on a PowerPC Macintosh with a Wii remote.
And Darren is going to show you how to recover web keys from somebody's computer.
Maybe a little special guest and an Afk Award. This time
on Hak5. Alright, so here we are, Hak5 Live, episode 7?
2X07, it's live beta 2, we're not to RTM yet, we'll get there soon.
We're working our way up there to it, but we've had so much going on here at Hak5, and just with the whole Hak5 family, we've moved, we're in new digs, we've kind of got the studio back together.
We threw it together about 4 hours ago.
4 hours, maybe.
We just got the tubes yesterday, so we can broadcast. That's
woohoo! Cool. Obviously, because you're watching us. So anyway, we still have a pretty good show lined up for you. You know, we've got some good content. We've got a special guest. We're going to be fielding some callers. It's going to be good times. I hope you really enjoy it. And if you're not catching it live, obviously you're now watching it.
Don't call now.
Recorded. Yeah, don't bother.
But we will be doing this again in the near future, so if you missed the live show and you want to get on, you got a question for Wes, myself, Paul, anybody, just go ahead and head over to hak5.org/live, and that's where you'll find a form where you can fill out and get lined up so that we can get you on Skype and get you on the show.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
Most definitely. Now, like I said, we have a special guest here.
Yes. You want to go ahead and
I want to go ahead and take care of that right now. We have a special guest here. Most of you guys probably already know him, especially if you backlogged on the episodes. Now, he's such a special guest, and we haven't seen him for so long.
Called Monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew.
Yes, he does. Well, we even decided to put together an award for him. But let's go ahead and introduce our special guest. Jonathan Goldsboro, everybody. Bum-ba-da-da! Nice to have him back on the show. How do you feel? How you been feeling, John?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Things going okay?
Yeah, going okay.
Going okay? How does it feel to be back?
Feels great. I mean, you guys are kicking ass over here. All this high tech, it's like, it's too good for me. you got everything.
Well,
absolutely beautiful. Keep up the good work.
Why don't you come on over here to the main table? All right. Now, I got something for you. You were kind of here when I slung it together, but it's...
You're too sweet.
This is the Afk Award.
Special Afk Award.
Special AFK Award.
I got to give some shout-outs, though.
You got to give some shout-outs? Well, this is going to the man that dropped off the radar longer than anybody I have ever known. So he gets the Afk Award.
All right, so I'm going to make some shout-outs to, like, Batman, Alanis Morissette, Pearl Jam, Baby Jesus, and you guys. Rock on. Thank you. All right, get your seat back.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you on the show, John. Thank you so much for coming back up on the radar and coming out to hang out with us and being on the show today. Thanks you so much.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
And along with John in the second set is our other panelist.
Another esteemed colleague.
That's Rob. You may know him from IRC as
Moobix.
You've probably seen him on
Noobix.
Moobix. He loves it when you call him that. Anyway, Rob's been on the show before. I got hurt during the move, but it wasn't on tape, so I'm so sorry.
He wants to cut his other finger. I brought my girdle.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, Rob's going to be helping us field some questions today, and we're glad to have him down. So without further ado, let's get this party started.
Let's jump right into it with IRC at work.
This is kind of a pain. I remember the first time I got an office job. I thought it was so cool. Oh, wait, I get to sit at a computer all day?
Woohoo!
I'm going to be playing Quake 2, and, like, it wasn't really like that.
Yeah, no.
But if you're real good about it, you can hide an IRC window sometimes behind a Word document. We've been there. But sometimes the systems administrator, you're one, and damn, this whole room's full of systems administrators, block those ports and makes it a little difficult.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to block ports on your firewall. You want to keep as few ports open as possible so that, there's no kind of security risks or anything else like that.
In a corporate environment, really, I think one of the main concerns is you don't want your employees doing bit torrenting at work. I mean,
exactly.
Next thing you know, RIAA, and that's...
Not only that, but if you're in a big kind of corporate situation, you don't want your employees to be on IRC or on AIM or whatever, because that means they're not working.
Yeah,
they're not being productive. So
it's like getting an HD TV and a Wii in the Hak5 studios, and then productivity.
Woo!
So
anyway,
show us a cool program.
Yeah. So
not really.
It is a program because it is an open source project.
You can find it on SourceForge.
Yes, you can. You can find it on SourceForge. Just look for IRC at work, and it kind of works. It runs like a web server type dealy. But if you want to pull the screen up right here, thank you. If you look at it right here, this is an actual website that's running right now, ircatwork.com. And all you do is come in here and you enter your nick. So let's do this, Hak5 Wes. Damn it, I can't type. And then your server, obviously, so irc.hak5.org, because I can't remember the new one. And then #Hak5. Give it a second. It'll roll up. Bam! Look, IRC.
This is great. And you're chilling with the other 200 people that are all screaming at us?
Yeah, I made 209.
Nice.
But, everybody's like, oh, wow, delay. Yeah, it's completely web-based, which means it goes through port 80, so your firewall won't block it. It just comes in as a regular...
So as far as your systems administrator is concerned, you're just browsing the web.
I'm researching.
Right, and they could not. I mean, there's no way they could, stop you from doing that, because then productivity would really be nothing.
Yeah. It'd really go through the crapper. But,
so this particular IRC at work proxy, if you will, is run by a very generous guy that set this up using PHP. I'm sorry, it's a Perl CGI app.
Right.
And I guess one of the things that we want to stress with this is that not to abuse this particular site.
Yeah, because this guy's, running it out of, the kindness of his own heart. You don't have to pay anything for it. So you don't want to sit there and just abuse it. Right.
One of the other, the link is actually at the bottom of the page on the main IRC at Work homepage. But, yeah. But what I would suggest, if your system administrator checks logs, which some do and some don't,
if you keep logs.
ircatwork.com, and that's kind of a dead giveaway. So maybe you want to register your own domain, and get your own web host, and then you can, then you could run your own totally work-relatedresearch.com and run your own IRC proxy.
Totally work-relatedresearch.com. I like that. I'm going to go register that.
Yeah. Rob, what do you do?
Right. Yeah, Rob, how do you work around your little IRC problem?
I don't IRC from work. For all those watching.
No, you've never IRC'd from work.
No, but if you were
to do so,
he never ever would do such a thing. No, never.
But if you were,
if I were, I SSH home to my home server and use a command line.
So what tool did you use to do that?
Yeah, well, what program?
PuTTY and IRC. IRSSI.
IRSSI.
Correct.
And I think we've talked about setting up free SSHD
right now.
Oh, right on. Right on, ponies.
If you want to pull up this right now, pull up the laptop. There we go. This is the actual home page for IRC at work. It's nothing fancy, but come over here. You get the homes, features, demo, download, blah blah blah, all that fun stuff. But that's where you can go pick it out, find all the documentation you need to run your own IRC at work type deal. And now, since I am the systems administrator, and I finally figured out how a Sonic firewall works. Dude, that was the most complicated firewall I've ever been inside. It was really just different. So I got that figured out, and that's why everybody sees me on IRC all the time now during the day. But this before...
But you're on IRC at work for research.
Of course. Like, no, actually, there's plenty of technical questions. Cody P. Christian, who runs Hak5.
Yeah, great show.
It's very good. Check it out if you haven't. Hak5.
I think there's a link on our website or our wiki.
Yeah, but it's like hak5.org, I think.
Yeah.
But he helped me out with a lot of Mac problems because I'm not big on the Mac. I'm not big on the OS X. I was having some weird problems.
OS X.
OS X.
The bar.
But yeah, you know, so I do use IRC for work type related stuff.
So definitely, if you're in the situation where you want to IRC, maybe at school, at work, whatever, this is a really cool program to check out. You can find the links in our show notes. And Paul, do we have a caller?
Yes, we do. And we have.
I know.
Let's go ahead and
no idea where he is.
throw that real quick.
So, you know, like when Steve Jobs was, just, you know, back at college.
That was awesome. We watched the keynote on a projector. It was like a 9-foot wall of Steve Jobs' keynote. And you got to talk about like
Steve
the reality
Jobs
distortion
software.
field.
Oh, here we go. Here's our caller.
You want to throw to us?
And who do we have?
We got Brian from our lead.
Hi.
Brian.
Hey.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourselves?
Doing all right. Nice to have you on.
Thanks. It's good to be here, I guess. Sort of.
Yeah.
The new digs.
What?
Loving the new digs. We just moved into the new place and set up the set.
Cool.
A few
Like
minutes
this
ago.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the production desk obviously survived the move. No more mishaps there.
Yes, it's you know, some 2x4s and some nails, and it all kind of came back together.
Great.
You know, we're looking forward to the set upgrade for season 3, but for the meantime, we're just gonna have to stick with monolith, the black walls,
Or the brick walls.
The new black.
Just bricks the new black.
Yeah.
So anyway, Brian, what's your question for us, buddy?
Question. Okay. Excuse me. Brian, there's this live streaming radio show that I'd like to listen to. It's at a slightly inconvenient time from 3 to 6. Starts when I'm at work, ends when I'm at home. Plus, you know, when I'm at work, I have people coming up to me and trying to talk to me. It's distracting. So I want to capture it. There's obviously commercial stuff that can do that, but, you know, free. VLC is free, and I'm trying to set it up with, like, the task scheduler in Windows to start it at 3 o'clock and kill it after 3 hours.
Right.
What I'm running into problems is I want to date stamp the file that I'm saving it as.
I see.
So like %date% in the Windows command prompt will convert it to the current date. You can do some substring and just take out the slashes. Problem is when I put that into the scheduler thing, whatever, it doesn't interpolate that, and it just tries to save it as like %date, and the substring has a colon in it, and that's not valid character for a file name.
So what you're ending up with is, if you schedule it, you'll actually end up with a file that's named %date%.mp3 or whatever.
Exactly.
And that's no fun. Okay.
No.
I believe there is a way to do this. There's a batch file that I've used most commonly when I'm doing like backups. I'll write a batch file to do a backup and then move it from one server over to a NAS or something, and I want to name it by the date. So my best resource for that is actually ss64.com, and I will get you the show notes in the show notes. The links in the show notes for this. This has a whole bunch of example scripts that you can use to write a batch file that will start your VLC, because you already know the VLC command to start recording it, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so you just write the batch file for that with the, you know, this has like it does some things to the variables to actually create one that works and will create the file name correctly. And if you do that in this batch file, what you can do is then schedule another task at 6 o'clock. So 3 hours after, when your program's over, you would schedule a task to use the task kill command to kill VLC.
Yeah.
So then you don't need to worry about it still running after you close the batch.
Right.
Okay, Rob, you got something to mic up?
Mic up there.
I need to mic up.
What?
Paul, will you get that? Thank you. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw those links in the show notes. I haven't had a chance to actually write this batch file, but I'm going to
Get on it.
Well, we just moved in and got the tubes yesterday.
Slack, man.
Excuses, Darren.
What'd you say?
Excuses.
Don't make me come up there.
All right.
Don't make me come back down there and smack you again.
Oh, boy.
I will smack you first.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, we'll have the show notes go up for you with all the links and pertinent information. I hope it helps you out. Did you have anything else?
No, not really.
So anticlimactic.
Wow.
Well, thanks a lot for calling.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Thanks a lot for.
Yeah.
Yeah, your silhouette. It's like the
It's a silhouette of a man.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like when
feels better when I get
the witness
closer.
protection program or something.
Oh yeah, we're like,
Yeah, we're like they're doing the interview and they've got the voice and they're like a silhouette. So anyway, so I guess we're up against our first break. When we get back, we're going to take a look at a front row hack for your PowerPC Macintosh and your wiimote. So we'll be back in just a bit.
after a word from these people.
Dougie.
What?
Have you seen how easy GoDaddy.com is?
Huh?
Yeah, I just bought you for $1.99.
Did not.
Yeah, I did.
Dog nabbit.
Whoops, just did your dog.
Mr. Winky? My wife loves Mr. Winky.
Ah, now I'm gonna do your wife.
Your mother.
You know I'm gonna do your mother now.
Too late. I already did my mother.
Pervert. Enter code HACK, that's HAK, when you check out for an additional 10% off any order.
Welcome back to Hak5. I'm Darren Kitchen. This is Paul Tobias, and we're continuing the Beta 2 live show. It's both 2X07, it's both Hak5 Live Beta 2. We're going to hit gold one of these days. We're kind of still fumbling around in the new house that we are very thankful to be in. Loving the new set.
Living on the couch.
And Paul's got a cool hack for us that we've been thinking about when we moved in here. One of the biggest things that's so important to us geeks is media. And there's got to be a really good way to manage media. And we're like, well, hey, what about front row? You know, but Paul's got a Mac Mini, and
I had an old school Mac Mini, the PowerPC ones that didn't come with front row on them. So for a while, I just didn't think it was possible to actually get front row without buying the Intel Macs. But then I read off of the what is it?
Analog 5.
Analog 5, yeah,
which is the Hak5 community e-zine. If you're not familiar with e-zines, head over to textfiles.com. There are tons from the old BBS era for you to check out. And the Hak5 community has just kind of taken that spirit and moved with it. And their first issue is awesome. I definitely suggest you head over to the Hak5 wiki and check that out. Very cool stuff. So that's where you found out about this.
Yeah, I found out from there. I can't remember the fellow's name, but he wrote up a pretty nice article on it. I have all the bookmarks, but essentially what he did was he found someone who created a program called Enabler that will let you kind of put in the little bits and pieces for it to think that you can put front row on there. And there's a specific build of front row that you can download from the Apple website, and you just install it, and it will work just fine. So if I wanted to go to it, I usually just hit Apple Escape, if it works. Yep, and there it goes. Little front row going on. And I would hit Apple Escape to get back out. But so I have front row, but it doesn't play all my media. And so one big thing I had to do was go through and find all my codexes for DivX and Xvids and stuff like that. So you can search around online. There's certain places to get them from. I'm working on a wiki that I'll put up, and will show you the codexes you'll need to get all different kind of media playing through front row. But now that I have it all kind of on my machine, I want to get away from my machine. And so that's why I wanted to hook up my Wiimote so I can sit on my couch and watch the TV.
No better. I mean, when you look at this, it's like you would have just thought it was an Apple product. I love it.
It just matches so perfectly. And the way that it works is, as soon as the Nintendo released the Wii, essentially.
Oh, everybody's hacking that.
Yeah, I think it was a fellow from Japan. He put out just a little program within like a couple days of it being out that just kind of hooks up through the Bluetooth via the wiimote, and it gives you kind of a little bit of control over your computer, and it'll just give you little directions. Press 1 and 2 to sync it up, and it will.
Just like you'd be syncing it to your Wii.
And mine's having a little difficulty, but usually there's a bunch of graphs that will show up. No, it's connected, but it's not. I've upgraded recently to version 4.0, and it's been,
4.4.0, right.
Yeah.
And this is based on the open source Wii remote library that's been released, and this is the Apple version of that. There's also a version for your PC. So if you're thinking about doing the same thing with like kind of a Windows Media Center type thing, same idea, and we'll have links to those hacks in the show notes as well.
Yep. But it works just the same. You'll wind up hitting the home button.
Oh, beautiful.
Go straight to that. Still scroll around.
So all of these, so the arrow keys, the D-pad, will just cycle through the menu.
Yep. And I changed it so that the A button will be my selector because I thought pulling the trigger was kind of difficult.
Right.
So I'll go into my movies. Let's see if I can get something playing real quick.
And the instructions for getting it on PowerPC, because Front Row natively isn't for the PowerPC Macintosh, it's just for the Intel Macs. So what was the program that allowed you to do this?
It was called Enabler.
Okay.
And it's put out by a fellow who just does the program because he wanted to be able to do it.
Right. And this is actually based off of a very interesting article in the Analog 5 eZine on the wiki by Shinarayu, who wrote this really cool article about using Front Row on PowerPC Mac, but with voice commands. Paul didn't want to be saying computer, Front Row, open movies, but which is totally cool. I mean, it's like beam me up, make it happen. But yeah, with the Wiimote, it's the same kind of idea. So I guess we got to give credit where credit's due to Shinarayu for hooking us up with that article in Analog 5. So we'll give a link to his blog over there.
Yep. And
oh gosh, you're playing us. How meta.
What the hell were you doing right
This is
something very hidden.
He was doing like a little dance.
This is a video that never was supposed to be released.
I still managed to have it, but
that was Hak5 Live Alpha 0.0.0.1.
Yeah.
Paul was doing the shake.
But it also has a quick get out escape button, and that's pretty much it.
Rock on. So you'll be able to find all of the
show notes and everything to all 3 projects will be up on the wiki.
Okay.
And there you go.
Rock on. So do you think we should try the voice-activated maybe event? Oh, you know what? Here's another question before we close the segment. I need to know, do you actually need the sensor bar for this to work?
If you want to be able to have more precise control over actually pointing the cursor around on the screen.
Right, because essentially you could play Doom with this.
Yeah, you could.
Doom on a Mac with a Wiimote.
But
with Linux. Can we do that?
Maybe. Okay. But no, you don't need the sensor bar because it'll kind of move around according to the gyros in it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you hook it up with a sensor bar, it'll have a lot more precision.
I see. But as for just the Front Row, you don't need precision because you're just using the arrow keys and A and B and home. Rock on.
Yep.
All right, Paul. Well, thanks for getting off the console, giving Wes a try with the video mixing micro. So we should have
didn't fail too horribly.
All right. So we should have another caller coming up.
Well, I'm trying to find out which one was next.
It would be Kai.
Yeah.
Kai. Yes, Kai from Newfoundland.
Yeah, I got that part. Oh, actually.
Can you tell this is beta? I don't know.
Oh.
Does it feel a little raw?
This is not cool.
Yeah, it's not cool at all, is it?
No, it's not.
Well, you want to switch out and let Paul get the con? I'm going to check IRC then.
We got a little stall because someone can't do their job.
Wes sucks. Wes sucks.
Praise to Wes.
I'm never going to be able to get on screen during the live shows now. Because
I don't even know how to use Skype anymore. I'm fired.
God, I don't even use Skype, and I know how to use it.
Like, I'm trying to find, like, you already called him. Where is
You got to type it in. That's what I was telling you.
I will take care of that.
Oh, there's where you type it in.
First beer spill. Yeah, first beer spill.
Is that him?
Yes, Kai.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
It's
like...
Chris.
Okay,
Yes.
Gotcha. I'm on it.
You don't type there, you type here.
Oh, shit.
You suck, Wes. You suck.
And this is why we have Paul on the console.
It doesn't look hard, but it is extremely difficult.
It's horribly difficult.
There's too many buttons.
There he goes. Woohoo!
Yay!
It's raining.
Hello.
Yeah, there
Hey, let me get back to the video. No. Alright, hey, you there, Chris?
Yeah, I am. And I just hear sirens.
You hear siren.
Yeah, that's weird.
Huh. Sirens?
Someone's coming to get you.
Oh boy.
Actually, no, there's a hospital really close to here. I'm hoping that's it.
Oh, okay.
So what's up, man? You got a question for us?
Yeah, my question is, what software and hardware are you guys using to mix your streams? I've tried a lot of solutions, but I can't really get any results even close to what you guys get.
Okay, well, this is good. Great that we have Paul on the set right now, because I guess he could tell you all about what we use to mix.
Yeah, I can. I'm trying to supervise too, but
I got this.
You don't worry. Wes has got it.
So his question is, what hardware do we use to get it streaming or to actually record?
You asking about what we're doing to video mix or to stream out to the server? Is there a specific...
Both, actually.
Okay, well, let's take the video mixing and then hand it over to Rob, who knows more about the server.
Yeah.
All
right.
As for the hardware...
What's up?
Yeah, you want to... sure, I'll take care of that. Sorry.
Point it here. But, there we go. We're going to get a little weird feedback loop, but whatever. So, if you can see down in the little corner here, we have the Edirol, which is just our mixer 4-channel. It's how we actually switch between all these different... Why did you zoom in? I was pointing shit out.
Oh, sorry.
Hang it up, fired.
But we use it to mix the 4 channels across here, and so you have the main cameras. We have someone's laptop on the set, and then we have our Skype and VTR machine, and that all gets previewed to there, which is coming off of that. So that's kind of the hardware for mixing the video, and that's pretty much it. It all has, and then it goes from the mixer to what we call 72, which is our transmission box for.
Roll out of the way here. This is.
Yeah, way down there with the Mountain Dew on it.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah, woo, Mountain Dew. That's all I drink. I've got a big collection of cans, about 100 cans.
Nice. You got like a big
Boogie. Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'll show you, but the cable's not long enough on the camera.
Make the Hak5 logo in.
Well, how long did we spend yesterday setting this back up? That's something like 5 hours.
If you want to go back to one, this took about 5 hours to put this all back together. We had it in about 2 different crates, plus all the screens and the desk and whatnot. And in fact, the live show was even delayed because there's a dongle. What we use hardware-wise, when it comes out of the Edirol mixer and the audio and everything, it goes into an all-in-wonder card. It's actually a Radeon 7500, if you can believe that. I know it's ancient, but it does the job because it has an S-video in, it has the audio in, and it'll take that in a little purple dongle and go right into the video card and allow us to pull that up in the stream program. And the problem that we had right before we went live, and if you were watching at 3 o'clock when we were supposed to be going, it was audio-less, and it ended up that there was a dongle that I actually left. You ever go to a LAN party, and you're like, oh, I'll save space. I'll throw my mouse, my keyboard, or not your keyboard, but my mouse and all my cables inside your computer?
Yeah, I did all that.
Well, the dongle is inside the computer. So we have audio now, and that's happy. As for the server side, I think if we head over to Rob and Rob, he may be able to clue you in on that just a bit more.
Alright, so for the server, I actually laid this all out in, again, Analog 5. It was how Hak5 Radio works. And basically what this is running off is a Linux server that's colo, which is co-located. It's a server that I paid for and off the side. So on the server itself, we have two applications, Shoutcast and Icecast. Icecast is an awesome server, and it can do Shoutcast compatibility. It has less lag. It's really easy to set up, and details are what you make of it. So for us, we use Shoutcast because Icecast is a little iffy when it goes to video.
Yeah.
Shoutcast, almost out of the box, it can use NSV, which is the Winamp version of streaming video.
Nullsoft video.
Okay, so that's the software you guys use, is it?
NSV Capture. And it's part of the NSV tools. If you do NSV Capture on Google, it's kind of hard to find, but NSV tools is what you want to look for.
Okay.
So you have NSV Capture, and it can take even a webcam input. It can take how we're using for inputs, and anything. And you have to get the 6.1 codec to actually work with VLC 8 point something, 8.6.
What?
Remember how it was raining on the last Hak5?
Yeah.
The new codec, you want it doesn't come standard with the NFV tool. Is VP 6.1.
Right, VP 6.1.
And it works great. That's what's going on right now. So,
okay.
So you have that. You have your Shoutcast server, and it's tape to set up. It's really easy.
You've got that all detailed in the Analog 5.
Analog 5 shows
wow.
it all.
Yeah, we're just kind of like
Pimping Analog 5.
we've been upgraded, you know.
I do want to give a shout out to Famicom, man. He did an awesome job on Analog 5. He is the editor in chief.
Rock on. So yeah, that should pretty much explain it. Now we're actually using all of that Rob explained is actually on his server, and we'd like to thank him so much for hosting this live stream. That's at hak5radio.com, and excuse me, you can find more information about that at what room
362?
Room362.com, because Movix needs to get a room. And
hey, Wes is in there with you.
And that's, oh boy, that's not what I wanted to think about. And one of the things that's the limitation of this is that we actually have a cap of what, 250?
We have a 250 cap. We're keeping it at 200 so people don't.
Right, we're keeping it at about 200. If you're experiencing buffering right now, what we're going to be doing in the next couple weeks is getting a dedicated server so that we can on a gigabit to the net, so that so we'll be able to transmit 2,000 concurrent viewers. If more than 2,000 of you guys show up all at once, then it's going to get mighty expensive for us. But I think that for the time being, we'll continue Hak5 Live at a much higher quality. So
cool.
Thanks so much for the question. Was there anything else on your mind?
No, that's it. That explains everything. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, well, also, I guess I'd recommend you check out episode 2X06, one we did last month, where we covered a lot of the hardware that's involved in the video mixing.
Okay, I've been out of the loop on the last few episodes.
Yeah, well, definitely check out the last one, because I think it sums up your question better than we could live right now on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Wes.
Thanks a lot, man. All right, well, I think we're up against our next break.
Yeah.
When we get back from that, I'm going to be talking about recovering your WEP or WPA passwords from the Windows Registry. And then we'll tie up some loose ends, give some shout-outs, and call this thing a day, or something.
There.
With 2 terabytes of transfer and 20 gigs of storage, DreamHost makes Hak5 possible. Don't forget to go to dreamhost.com and use coupon code HAK5 for all of your web hosting needs.
And if we could get camera 1. hell was that? Did you see that?
You don't know what that was?
No.
I don't know what that was.
Oh, was that in the script?
I don't know where the hell that came from.
We're in Block C. We're supposed to be doing Welcome.
Or something.
Did you just run the ad on VTR?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to take a look at that later.
Okay.
Whatever. Anyway,
Live.
Yes. Back to the show.
Well then. Moving right along.
Right along. There's, what's in it for me?
What's in it for you?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for you?
What's in it?
I got you.
Okay. There's a thing that we said a long time ago when we first started Hak5, and that was we were never going to do a tutorial on cracking WEP.
Because there's 1,000,001 other videos that you can go out there and watch, and it's just cheesy and hokey and script kiddie and everything else.
Don't be so mean.
Alright, I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't want to do WEP cracking.
But it's like the first thing that anybody ever asks when they...
Steal it.
Yes.
Something, prove why you didn't do it. Do it now.
Well, we didn't want to do the web cracking thing because it had already been done 1,000,000 times.
It's over.
Okay, but what I've recently found in our very own forums under the questions board was a very interesting thread about extracting WPA and WEP keys from the Windows registry, and I just thought this was like the coolest
WPA
thing.
also?
WPA as well.
Oh.
Yes. So if you head over to 3, you can take a look. This is actually the thread that that it was our friend Iron Geek.
As in
head over to 3.
irongeek.com.
You want to head over to 3?
3.
There you go. Iron Geek.
Fired!
Asked a question about extracting WEP and WPA keys from the Windows registry. And this is, I swear, this is one of the reasons why I love Hak5, the community so much. Because this is just one of those cool things where you can just start a question, you've got a thought, and the next thing you know, things start piling up, and we've got answers. Just like we have so many Switchblade packages, Hacksaw packages. The Pandora hack is now like, hell, I don't think, did Viacom buy it now? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. It's just like, it's gotten so massive.
So, I mean, bad props go out to everybody in this thread and IMG for bringing this up. And one of the suggestions was actually this really nifty tool from NurSoft. You may be familiar with them if you've ever played with NirCMD or NIRCMD. Really cool program. It's part of a lot of Switchblade packages that allow you to do, from the command line, cool things like, I don't know, eject the CD-ROM.
Oh, is that like where those stupid scripts would come through where you like want to piss somebody off?
Well, not just that. It actually has some very like useful stuff like changing the volume by the command line. You know, so when you're like automating everything, you know, batch filing your job and all these things like that, this is a great way to do that. So if you haven't heard of NurSoft or NirCMD, definitely head over to nirsoft.com. That's where you can find this program. And this is the wireless key view tool, and it will recover your WPA and WEP keys.
Recover?
Right. I mean, if, you know, you might, in fact, one of the coolest things is it's actually a command line tool. If I head over to my desktop and wireless, okay, so this is, I'm going to do it the command line way because it's way more fun that way, and maybe if you've got like a USB key that automatically runs a batch file on it that recovers information from a target computer, this would be probably a cool thing to add to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete my test file that I created a minute ago. And I'm going to run the wireless key program. So it's wirelesskeyview.exe. Oops.
There you go.
And I'm going to do the s-text. So it's /x text,
/s text.
Right. And then a file. So I'm going to blah.txt, right? And what that does is now if I dir here, I've got my blah.txt. And I'm going to, Paul, can you give us 50% opacity on this? Okay. I'm going to type blah.txt. And those are WEP keys and WPA keys. And that's all you'll see. And hopefully that was enough to keep them from being too visible on the stream. I'll go ahead and launch the program normally, just in the GUI.
What's just so funny about this program is that, you know, all of us that are pretty, you know, security aware and, you know, protecting our information and everything else, you don't save passwords, you don't save user logons. Any website you go to, Like, Firefox gives you the option. Would you like to save this?
No.
No.
Never. Don't let it do that.
No, never.
You'll forget it, and 2, we'll remember it. You know what
Exactly. Like, if a password is saved on your computer, it can be recovered.
Right.
More specifically, stolen. But nobody ever thinks about the fact that when you enter a WEP key or a WPA key in for your wireless networking, it saves it.
Where's the option? Right? I mean, I'm going to play noob here. I guess I haven't looked around enough, but where's that option?
I'm guessing it's in the registry somewhere.
I guess so, but...
let's see, Rob?
Take a look at Rob. Go ahead.
Rob, what you wanted to chime in?
And all you who know me, I hate Microsoft, so don't flame bait all the flame mail, don't do it. Vista is default so that it doesn't save the password for web keys WPA. It does not. It gives you the option to save it, but it will not do it.
I think we should get a round of applause for that.
And
here's one from Microsoft. So I guess what Rob's trying to say is that they're actually making a step in the right direction.
Right.
We'll see. I do.
They're putting forth the efforts. Like with Vista, they've incorporated a lot of things like OS X does, where if you're going to run a command or you're going to execute a program or change certain system configurations, it's like, are you sure you want to do this? Which can get kind of buggy, but
completely off the. We're going on a tangent here, but I'll just go ahead and say it right now. I believe that all of that warning dialogue is putting the security on the user, and I believe that every user needs to be educated and understand security. But we're talking about the average user, and if you're watching this show, you're not the average user. Trust me.
You're obviously above it.
Yeah. So I think they're all just going to hit OK, cancel, whatever, continue, ignore, and that's in the long run going to hurt security, because really I think the best security is both on the OS level and on the education of the users so they understand what they're doing. And if they just get so used to hitting ignore, OK, whatever, it's like I feel like we're taking a step backwards there. But this is a rant. We should.
Damn, I really wanted to get into this conversation.
You're retorting.
Well, here's the thing though, because like I was playing with OS X, and I was trying to install Office for Mac, and my boss, like I was doing it for my boss's computer, his billable hours are way higher than mine, so I do all the grunt work. Duh. So he's like, I want Office on this Mac, on a MacBook Pro. I'm, sure. Drop the CD in, and it's like, I need the user password, the administrative password. Damn. And it's like his super duper double top secret alpha omega
40 character long
password
with an umlaut.
And like every special character on the number row.
.com.
So he's not going to give that to me.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So he goes and types it in and makes it go in the other room.
Yeah, well, no, I walk in, I hold the laptop in front of me, and he types it.
Yeah.
And then I go back to my office. And I continue the installation. Then it asks for the password again. And I have to get up and walk back to his office. Ask him to enter the password. He enters it. I walk back.
And he's doing that.
I continue the installation. It's like, oh, you need to update. Fine. Give me a password. Damn.
Yeah, but you don't run Linux as root. When you were running BSD, did you run as root?
I don't know. I built my own user.
Linux isn't BSD. But
no, testnet will beat you over that.
Not just testnet /that will ban me. But but yeah, okay, I'm so sorry. Everybody in IRC OS Wars, not the place, not the time.
Sorry.
Keep that in IRC. We will continue. Anyway, so what we were getting at was this whole WEP and WPA recovery from the registry. For web keys, okay, there are so many. What's your favorite tool to crack web keys? Let's switch over to
Aircrack NG.
I'm sorry, say again?
Aircrack NG.
You with us? You want to... Yeah, I'm sorry.
Paul, hello. Aircrack NG is the standard. It's been around for a while.
I thought you were talking about something with cows.
Oh, WPA. I'm sorry. Cow Patty. Cow Patty is made by Renderman and the Church of Wi-Fi. They do a great job.
The Church of Wi-Fi.
Church of Wi-Fi. And they do a great job at making rainbow tables that go into Cow Patty that crack WPA keys with standard SSID.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the thing with WPA is the SSID salts the password.
Right, it gets entered into the password.
So anyway, I guess what we're trying to say is we didn't want to talk about web cracking. It's available, check the show notes or the forums or whatever. Yep. WPA difficult to crack. I've seen some rainbow table stuff for common passwords, or I'm sorry, not common passwords,
Common SSIDs.
like for the Linksys SSID.
Linksys.
But if you're going to change your password, if you're going to enable WEP and add a password, don't you think you would
change the SSID? Yeah, SSID.
Anyway, so rather than trying brute force and just sitting out there in the cold forever, you're going to get frostbitten. You might as well just go into the office, the flower guy or whatever, and USB key. This program recovers the WEP and WPA keys from the registry.
Yeah, but it does it in the hash, right?
No, it does it in the hex value.
Yeah, the hex
so
value.
So go ahead and run this now. And
hex,
Paul, don't
hash.
switch over yet. Go ahead and switch. Yeah, you can open it now. This is what it looks like. And basically, here are all of the the Wi-Fi access points that I connect to. And I can see that this one's got WEP and this one's got WEP. And the rest of them are WPA, PSK. It gives us the hex value. I'm not going to scroll over because then you'll see the whole hex value. But that hex value itself is all you need. Is the equivalent. I mean, if you convert it back to ASCII, may not be the same thing that they entered in, but that's just because it will generate multiple ones. If you use this program on somebody else's machine, that's maybe you're over at your friend's house and they forgot their you want to get on their wireless network, but they saved it. And since they saved it, they no longer know what it is.
Right.
Then this would be a perfect tool to run on their machine to actually find out what their WPA key is, and then just give it the hex value when you connect, using whether you're using the Windows 0 wireless config, or
whatever the proprietary, like wireless
Dell
card,
one, the Intel crap.
The Intel crap. I hate that thing.
Yeah.
But long story short, what it's going to do is it's going to rip the hex value out of the registry.
Right.
No matter who is managing the wireless connection. Mm-hmm. And then all you would have to do is then enter this hex value back in, because when it goes to check encryption, it's like, close enough.
Hey,
that's
works for me.
Okay.
Little note, guys. Little note.
Yeah.
Bring it back over here. We got a relay on HTTP at yotaweb.de port 8000.
YOTAWEB.de.
Rock on.
Nice
cool.
Relay.
Thank you. Thank you for relaying.
All of the people that are watching it right now, if you want to get on that stream, I guess it would make more sense to put that in IRC.
It's in IRC.
Oh, okay, cool. And you know what? Relays are welcome. Let's address two little things real quick. There have been a few questions that have come up so many times. One is, we actually release under a Creative Commons license, and what that means, we're a non-commercial attribution share-alike license.
Translation, that means you can distribute our content as much as you want.
You can give it to everybody.
You can cut it apart, remix it back together.
Throw it on YouTube, just the part when Darren hit the set and getting hurt, and maybe...
Or like an entire montage of Darren getting hit. That's perfectly fine as long as you give attribution to us. It's Hak5
Yeah, you just give us
content.
Say it was Hak5.
But if you decide to use it for anything commercial,
you have to
ask us for our explicit permission. That's it. Otherwise, you are free to seed, distribute, download 500 times, burn 5,000 discs, give them to your friends. That's fine. We want you to do that.
Yeah, we've gotten so many questions from people that are in the AV, like in their college, and they want to put it on. They're part of the AV group, and they want to put it in the dorm closed circuit TV system. And I'm like, dude, go ahead.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That is not against our license.
So anyway, that's just to clear up that license thing. Can't actually remember. Oh, and rebroadcasting. So if you want to rebroadcast a stream, by all means do that. We'll have a dedicated server hopefully for the next episode, and that should hold 2,000. But the more the merrier. So
yeah, exactly.
Stream, that's great.
We greatly appreciate it. The more people that can tune in live, the better we feel, and the more happy people there are.
Yes. So I think that puts us at C4.
Yep, which is where we come in, tie up a couple of loose ends.
There is a loose end right here. I want to give a shout out to somebody that's been very involved in the community, a very active member when it comes to development of projects. You might know him from the Switchblade. His name is Amish. He's very cool, and there's a talent that he has that I had no idea. I was talking to him once, and I just like to pimp his stuff because it is so cool. Check this out. If you want to just, Paul, if you just want to switch over to this YouTube clip, this is actually Amish, and who knew he was such an awesome freestyle walking...
Free runner.
Free runners. Yes.
It's actually called Parker over in Europe.
Rock on. So anyway, mad shout outs to Amish. Definitely head over to YouTube. I'll put this in the show notes too because it's just that cool.
Mm-hmm.
Before the end of the show, the guys actually want to see a tour of the studio.
What?
A tour of the studio.
They want to see a small tour of the studio. Why don't just take the camera?
They've seen the studio.
We're on a tether. We can
we can do a quick little spin.
I can. Okay, if you want to switch
see the kitchen.
If you want to, I can show you the downstairs of it. Paul, if you want to switch the camera too, I'll just go ahead and spin it around. Yeah.
Okay. Take it off the tripod.
Okay.
And it just snaps off.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Well, everybody's going to
You're about to get very dizzy. Okay. This is
Steadicam.
broadcast console.
There's a broadcast console. Hey, here I am. Hi. Yeah, I'm a complete tool. The monolith, the 32-inch LCD, the brick walls.
It's John.
Oh, look, there's John and Moopix. Oh, they're trying to crack our WEP. Or they're trying to crack our WPA.
Okay. And then if I can...
That's 8. This is 8.
That's below.
These are the lights, so you probably can't see. This is the living room.
That's right.
Kind of. As much as I can show you of it. Key lights. And we gotta wrap up here in just a second, so let me put this back up.
And then there's the kitchen.
And then the kitchen that you already saw.
So, I guess if you guys...
So why don't you switch off of that so they don't get the...
dizziness?
Yeah, the Blair Witch effect.
If, yeah.
So, okay, so there's the studio from what you can see from here.
We'll have to do another something later sometime when we have
always,
time.
as always, we need to think... I don't know.
Hey.
But, as always, let's thank DreamHost.
Definitely DreamHost.
Our wonderful web hosting provider.
Use coupon code HAK, the number 5, at dreamhost.com. Get $25 off your purchase. And you can do all sorts of fun stuff. In fact, I'm sure you could even run that Perl script we talked about, the IRC at work, for totally work-related emails,
blah, blah,
stuff,
blah, blah.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
it'd be a perfect place to host it. Always GoDaddy.
Yeah.
As you know,
Good
you saw
domain
before, good domain registration.
I want to thank Paul for video mixing.
Paul is the coolest. Rob and John
going.
for being here. I think John had to hit the head.
John for being Code Monkey number 1.
Yeah, I think he had to go hit the head.
Oh, and Shmoo. We will be at Shmoo.
Yes, we will be at ShmooCon.
There will be links for that.
Woohoo! Thank you, Moobix, for taking care of that for us.
Hey, no problem.
There's actually going to be a security hacker podcast vidcast meetup at Shmoo.
No kidding.
Right on.
Paul.com.
Paul.com.com.
Paul.com. Martin McKay. Cyberspeak. Those are some of the only ones confirmed so far, but
that's going to be sweet.
This is growing.
Awesome.
This is growing.
Awesome.
Very excited about that.
So yeah, look for Hak5 at ShmooCon.
Hell yeah. That is going to be a blast. Because we missed it last year.
Yes, we did.
Sploitcast will be there, I'm sorry.
Yes, Sploitcast will be there.
Harrison was over here yesterday. He couldn't make it for the live show. He's in Manhattan. But shout out to him as well. And everybody for tuning in to the stream and being very patient.
Thank you so much, and everybody that downloads. We always appreciate you viewing, and
your feedback is appreciated.
Darren at Hak5,
Wes at Hak5,
Ali at Hak5, Paul at Hak5,
John, Rob, Moobix. They'll work.
They all work. They all forward. So if you have any questions, comments, everything, send us an email. We'll always read it. So, with everything taken care of,
I believe so. Until next time,
I'm Wes. Trust your techno lust.